Hey, welcome to today's video. Uh, I'm JC Foxgear, Jacob Connors, author of the Saint Saga series. And today we're going to talk about how I designed my covers. On the left of the screen is my original draft cover, and on the right of it is the official cover made by Deku Studios uh, on ArtStation. And I'm just going to go over the stuff I decided and what I talked about with the guys there, and how I came up with this design. So starting on the left here, kind of just ignoring the title. I well, uh, just kind of speaking on book titles in general. I really struggled to come come up with my title for a while. Uh, I originally I originally designed. I based a lot of my stories actually based off. I mean, it's based off of a lot of anime stuff and over the years, but it's really based off of Dragon Quest VIII in a lot of ways, or just Dragon Quest in general, because I loved those games growing up. So the story structure is kind of the same as that, whereas the party kind of forms up. You'll get some new members along the way, and you'll go from town to town, kind of deal with an issue of inside that town, and eventually you'll span the globe and probably fight some sort of evil demon monster. Not to spoil a thing, but that's kind of how it's going to go. There's some other elements in there too. I'm kind of throwing in some old West elements and some other things like that. But let's get back onto the cover at hand. So on the left here, where I got my handy dandy clicker going, this is the cover I drew. Now I drew this a few years ago, so I kind of hope I can draw better than this now. But this was the concept art I sent to the guys over at ArtStation. Uh, Once again, I kind of mussed up my files a bit to the fact that I don't have the version where it's just the black and the forest here. Originally I did have this river. I was going to have this river in the background, but I thought it was going to be a little too busy. I wanted the cover to be a little simpler. At the time I was making this, I was not talking to anybody really, unfortunately, so I didn't really A/B test this or anything. I just went with my gut instincts on what was a good title or a good cover. One thing you'll notice here is the difference between the two is I had them add in the rosary second, and that may have been kind of a mistake on my part because it kind of adds. I don't, to kind of explain the story a little bit. It's not a. It's not a. It's not a Christian. There's Christian elements, I guess you could say, as far as there are in like Narnia and maybe Tolkien, but like this cross isn't like the cross you'd see it the Catholics have. This is supposed to be the Solaris Star, which is just basically a cross. It's supposed to be a cross with some extra points, but that's kind of hard to make into an emblem. So it's just kind of this silver star cross thing. And part of the story Hazel here is clutching it so tight it digs into her palm and causes her to bleed a little bit. So, but faith plays a big story. Plays a big role in my story here because it's a story. It's basically a holy war between three goddesses. So there's a little Legend of Zelda in the story too. I base a lot of stuff off video games, but actually a lot of times I base a lot of my stories off of a song. Back when I was doing fan fiction, I made a story called Night Patrol, based entirely the whole thing. all let's see, I just looked recently at it. I think the first part of that story was like just under 200,000 words, and the next part was another 200,000. That whole entire story based off of one song. I went overboard. For some reason, back in the day, I thought stories were like a thousand. Okay, they are thousands of words long, but you don't realize how short some books are until you see them. Like if I were to show you, uh, I'll get on screen here a little bit. Like my book here. Sorry, I'm not used to being in camera. My book here, volume one. This is just under 60,000 words. That's the bare minimum that it's that's the bare minimum of words required to be a novel. If anything below that, I think is a novella. Sorry, I don't know where to place stuff in my fucking camera here. So yeah, so yeah, this is volume one just to show you it does exist. This is I have like a few different copies here. I had some formatting issues where, yeah, this one has it. Yeah, if you ever wonder what bad margins look like, it's that. You can see how big of a margin I got here in this book. So it increased the page count by like 10. It's not like a big problem, but it does. More paper increase your cost. So remember that. So I'm trying to keep my margins down. Sorry as I move on here, but yeah, that's just under 60,000 words. That's that's barely a novel. This book two here, Saint Tonga book two. I'm just showing you as examples of like how big some books actually are. I know this is a cover video, but I'm just going to go on a tangent. I don't know if I'll make that a thing or not. But this is my print copy of book two. This is about this is a little over 100,000 words. It's got a little better margin. This one actually requires the larger margins. I'm sorry. Right in the center here, I think that's sometimes the margins might be a little too tight on this one, but this is a 100,000 word book right here. You can see how that is. Let me see. Do I got? I guess for comparison. Yeah. Just for some comparison, this is part one, volume two of the Ascendance of a Bookworm series, and you can kind of see here. Get my book back again here. Yeah, that's what the average light novel is. I mean they're pretty 1-to-1. So most light novels are 60, 70,000 words. I think under 100 is still considered a light novel, but most consider this a full novel. This is 100,000 words. I'm going to try and stick between the 60 and 100 now, but yeah, so there's that. But anyways, let's get back into the actual topic. Let's get back into the actual topic. The covers. Yeah, so I don't quite remember exactly what my original inspiration was, but I wanted Hazel kind of cowering behind the tree here. In the story, she's actually in the roots of a tree. She's falls down a hill, cuts up her feet, crawls under the hollowed out roots of a tree, so she's underneath a tree basically, and then Sixes here finds her. In the original, so I didn't make Sixes' horns here. He's supposed to actually have horns. You don't see him at all in the official version because you can't see him here. So I don't blame the guys. I don't blame the art guys. That was my fault. So you can see how my tree work here is. Not very great at it. This was a different pose I had to do for Hazel. I had to kind of work at this a little bit to make this work. But originally I was going to have the river in the background and kind of have this forest here. But when I was talking over with blood would come out of Sixes' mouth. So the blood coming out of his mouth, the river, and this background here, I just thought that was too busy. So I told the guys, just make that black. And you can kind of see it in the official version here. Now I've changed how my title's laid out. I don't know if I'm going to keep changing it, but I mean, it does. I feel like maybe my title's too long now, like Saint Saga The Black Beast, Volume 1, branded. See, there's a lot of extra pauses there, and I kind of feel like reading a lot of the light novels recently. I've gotten so used to long titles that, like Ascendance of a Bookworm is like it's Ascendance of a Bookworm, Part 1, Volume 2, Daughter of a Soldier. Is that how it goes? No, it's Part 2, Daughter of a Soldier. I don't know. See, I've been reading that stuff like that lately, so for a long time, so I kind of got into that habit too. But we'll see how that goes. One thing about one thing that I locked it. One thing here too. I don't know how exactly this happened because I picked out how I wanted the art style of the official cover here. So you can kind of see here, Hazel, in my version, Hazel's very anime style. I didn't have her head very defined at the time, but I was kind of shooting for that 15 to 17 range. Because I was trying to go that young adult route, and it just kind of it's one of those things where if the person is too old, you don't feel for their lives, but if they're too young, you kind of can't believe some of the stuff they do. Also, some situations get kind of bad when you have a too young of a protagonist. But yeah, so you can kind of see how Hazel looks here, and then in this version, in the official version, she looks a lot older. Like a lot older. Like she looks great. You wouldn't. Well, okay, she'd be in universe. She's 15. In our universe, she's 17 because I created a 777 day calendar. There's kind of a weird thing in the lore where the three goddesses always divide things by three. So like the days are, so like the hours of the days are still 24 because you can divide that by three. But then like the days of the week, there's like 9 because each goddess gets 3 days. And then there's 9 months. Each goddess gets three equal months, where 82-day months. And then every third month, there's an 83rd day that is supposed to be the transition day to the next goddess's reign. So it's kind of like, it's basically spring and summer. No, sorry, not spring, summer. Summer and fall. Summer and early fall are kind of meshed together. Then late fall and winter are smashed together. Then late winter and spring are smashed together for seasons. It's a trilateral calendar. Is that how you say that? Anyways, I'm gonna get this wrapped up here. I think I'm just rambling at this point. But yeah, this is the official art I made to give to the guy, to give to some actual talented artists. If I had any regret, I have been considering completely redoing Volume 1's cover. Maybe one with some A/B testing, get some feedback. But the problem is I just don't know what to change it to, because this does fit my vision. At least I thought it did. At least I think it does. But I don't know. I heard a lot of different writing advice for people talking about changing your cover, and I can understand that. But it's also like, I mean, I might have to find some cheaper price guys because I'm gonna. I mean, they did. I'm not dissatisfied with their work. I'm just saying maybe I jumped the gun, or I don't know. You can learn all you can. You can learn a lot, but you can't learn everything. You know. And it's one of those things. Who do you listen to? You know, who do you listen to for advice? Is it right? Is it wrong? You know, it's tough to say. So yeah. So that's the first cover. I'll probably be going over this a little. I'll probably be doing this a little bit. I'll be honest. I'm just trying to make a video right now because it's fall. I'm working extra hours, and unfortunately, I don't have much time to do much of anything. But I'm gonna keep trying. Oh yeah, one thing here. I did like that they made Hazel's dress a little tattered, like I told them to. So it's supposed to be tattered from her running away in the forest from Six's here when he turns into a monster. I'm not sure exactly what her dress is called. It's supposed to be just kind of a frontier dress. But anyways, I'm going to get wrapped up here. If you want to check out Saint Saga, The Black Beast, Volume 1, you can check it out on Amazon for $2.99 for the ebook and free on Kindle Unlimited if you have that and you just want to give it a quick look. And then Saint Saga Volume 2, I'm planning for it to release in March. I'm working on some editing stuff right now. But hold on. I didn't. I switched scenes. I didn't know if my mic was still going. So yeah, you can get it on print for $11.99 right now. But it's So it's fall. It's if you haven't watched any of my previous videos, Saint Saga is a story about Hazel, who gets cursed by Sixes, who's the giant beast in the background there, and they have to go on a journey together. It's like I said, it's very Dragon Quest like. These two form a party. They're both cursed, and they're both traveling the land looking to remove the curse. Well, Sixes is trying to leave Hazel behind, but fate is kind of tying them together, and they go off on adventures and meet various people, and eventually, they'll kind of get uh, they'll get to where they're going. Like I said, a lot of it is based off of Dragon Quest adventures and stuff like that. And a little Zelda and some of the lore there too. But there's my own stuff in there too. But I can't deny if there's something that influenced me there. Over here, if you want to find me, you can find me on Facebook. I have a author's page for Saint Saga, the series, on Facebook for however good that does. On DeviantArt, I'm under Foxgear Studios. And then on X, formerly Twitter, also Foxgear Studios. And then on Amazon, you can just type in the name of the book, but you can also maybe find me on author Jacob Connors, maybe, or just type in my name. But I don't know. We'll see how good that goes. I hope y'all give it a check out. Tell them if you like it. Tell them if you don't. I'm fine either way with it. You know, it's not to everybody's taste. It's a little bloody. It's a little gory, but not quite as. It's somewhere. I really mean to wrap up about this, but one thing I do have to warn is like one of my beta readers, he got so freaked out by the gore he didn't finish the book. So, which I thought was funny because I considered the gore below Goblin Slayer, like, are on par with Goblin Slayer, like in the Goblin Slayer realm, somewhere between. Yeah, I definitely feel like it's in the Goblin Slayer arena. I don't know if I'd quite as far as Overlord yet. There's a lot of Doom though. Yeah. Anyways, thanks for watching. I guess subscribe, like, share, subscribe. I have not been saying any of that in any of my videos for the past 10 I made. But, I'm going to try my best to make the YouTube channel successful. I'm not great at social media. You can probably tell that, but I'm going to keep trying. But I'll see y'all later. Have a good night.